What's up, fight fans? We are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I'm your host, Edwin, and we have an amazing show for you here today. We're going to be answering a lot of questions about the monster, Naoya Inoue, and what they're saying about him, and why did he get this number 2 ranking. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So I'm going to answer a lot of your questions right now. I see a lot of people had a lot to comment, and a lot of people did come to my aid. That's what's up, chat family. Bring me up some history about Naoya Inoue. Now, since he won his last fight against Yi Jun Kim, some people made videos about his ranking and saying, how did he get the number 2 spot? You know, how did he deserve it? Because he fought Yi Jun Kim, and who the hell is Yi Jun Kim to put him in the number 2 spot? Well, that is people just seeing it one way, and I've talked about this, that kind of vision, a thought process that you see the first thing you read, and right away you go with that, you have no vision. You can't see things for what they are because you're already looking for something bad, right? When the obvious was right in front of you. The reason why he got that number 2 spot wasn't because he fought Yi Jun Kim. It's because he defended all 4 belts for a record 3 times in the super bantamweight division. And for that, they'll give you the number 2 spot. Did you ever bother to think about it that way? It wasn't really about his opponent. It was about one of his achievements that he achieved on that night, successfully defending all 4 belts for the 3rd consecutive time. That will give you the number 2 spot. And the fact of his activity, and that the boxing world acknowledged this was a last-minute replacement due to the fact that the number 1 contender pulled out multiple times leading into the fight. So you want me and the boxing world to discredit your victory because it wasn't your fault? Because the person that was supposed to fight you didn't have the balls to show up in the ring. And by the way, I've said this on multiple videos. Who the hell is Sam Goodman's? Under whose watch did they allow that to happen? That's why I call bullshit. You see? And as far as that little conspiracy theory, or weak attempt to discredit Naoya Inoue by bypassing the 112-pound weight division, it was later revealed that, in fact, he wanted to smoke at 112. When we went back and looked it up, didn't he? Right? Chocolito, all of them there at 112. You know what their excuse was? That Naoya Inoue only had 7 fights at the time. They didn't believe that the fight would sell. Mind you, he only had 1 belt with 7 fights. He wanted all the smoke. He passes the 112 and jumps into the 115, secures the title. And by the way, here's another way of looking at things. If these guys wanted to fight Naoya Inoue, why didn't they just move up 3 pounds? From 112 to 115. Meaning from the 112 and the 115, it is the lowest weight jump in all of boxing divisions. It's not like, Ryan Garcia came in 3 pounds overweight. I could play 5 games of basketball, come home and take a shit and lose 3 pounds. It's not hard to do. It's one of the easiest weight jumps in all of boxing that separates the 2 division is 3 pounds. If Chocolatito or any of the guys at 112 thought they could beat Naoya Inoue, why didn't they pursue him? Another good point is, if these guys were so much better than Naoya Inoue, why haven't they mirrored any of his success? Why didn't Chocolatito or any of those guys down there that they're screaming their names, do anything remotely close to the accomplishments that the Japanese superstar did. In super bantamweight history, there has never, and I repeat, never been an undisputed champion there in history. He is the first. In the regular bantamweight division, there was an undisputed unified world champion there in 1972. That's the last time that shit happened. And he did it in that division. It's easy for them to try to write off his accomplishments. But what they can't do is find someone to compare him to. You can say what you want about the man, but his success in boxing, I can't ignore. I can't ignore the man's success. And the fact that what they're all saying is, oh, he fought nobody. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. Well, then, damn it, it should be easy for anyone like Junto that has the skills, or Bam Bam Rodriguez that possesses the skills to follow in his footsteps. Now, wouldn't it? Why can't they mirror what he's doing? Because although you can sit at home on your couch, and just because the words roll off the tip of your tongue, it's easier said than done. Naoya Inoue is really, truly doing some remarkable shit. And if you ask me, they're doing him a disservice by putting him in the number 2 spot. He doesn't belong in the number 2 spot. He belongs in the number 1 spot. There's no boxer quite doing it like him. The activity. There's no fighter. None. Not even Usyk is doing it like him. He's not active enough, Usyk. He's not putting everything on the line. And he doesn't have all 4 belts. So how can Usyk's title fight put him over Naoya Inoue, where he didn't successfully defend all 4 belts? He defended 3 belts, but not 4. Naoya Inoue defended all 4. And soon we're going to see him come to America, to Las Vegas, and I'm going to try to get out to that fight. I'm going to pay close attention to see when and where and who, and I'm going to try to get to that fight. I'm going to need some help on that, but I'm going to try to get to this fight. To cover Naoya Inoue, I believe he's one of the most special talents we have today. I believe that a lot of fighters should take a page out of his book. We're going to see a big card jump off with David the Monster Benavidez and David Morale and all the great fighters that's on that undercard. Stephen Kubo Fulton, Brandon Figueroa, all these kind of guys are fighting. You know, I even want to see Isa Pitbull Cruz back in action. I think that these fights are good for the sport. The Saudi Prince is putting some things together, and I'm paying attention closely to his every move now that he does have Naoya Inoue in his little corner. He has, it's no secret, invite him out there, Riyadh season. He's got him kind of like an ambassador for boxing for out there. And it's good business for the sport. Naoya Inoue is bringing a lot of eyes to the bantamweight division. And the world, just like myself, can't wait to see when he finally does move up. You know, there's a gauntlet of warriors at 126 just waiting for this Japanese dude to show up. You know, I'm concerned a little bit about Naoya Inoue's size and weight for the division. But I'm not concerned at all with his skills. Skills can pay the bills. And if you got skills like that, you should be able to fight your way around any boxing situation. That's why I consider you on the pound-for-pound list, Mr. Naoya Inoue. I believe you're him. I truly do. You know, you're the closest thing to a perfect boxer we have, and there is no perfect boxer in this world. I don't think there ever will be. There's no Superman. There is no Superman. Naoya, in a way, it shows that he is in fights, and you're going to get touched once or twice in a fight, or even knocked down. What's important is that you come out at the end of that fight victorious. And it seems like Naoya, in a way, is really, he's not letting off the gas. He's really showing that, he passes every test. Every test they put him in front of him, from every style of fighting so far. The future potential mega showdown, which the world, I know, including myself, is talking about. Now, although I know it might not be reality, but boy, is it interesting. Naoya Inoue versus Gervonta Tank Davis. That's just a dream fight right there. That is a dream fight of mine. If that ever happens, or ever even has a chance of happening, because I don't know where Gervonta Tank Davis is headed. A lot of people are talking him up already, 140, 147, which I think is ridiculous. I think that he has a lot of unfinished business at the 135-pound weight division, Gervonta, and I think he needs to show the world that he's him. Although he hasn't fought the likes of the fighters I would have liked him to fight, I think Gervonta Davis is a highly skilled, big puncher, smart fighter. I don't sleep on Gervonta Tank Davis. Not at all. That man is dangerous with a capital D. And I'm telling you, he's dangerous. So, but Naoya Inoue is also very dangerous. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. Okay? And he has the power to put your lights out. So, that is a real 50-50 fight for me. Because although I think Gervonta Davis is a big puncher, skilled fighter, Naoya Inoue is just the same thing. You ever hear the expression, you're going to need a ninja to kill a ninja? That's who Gervonta Davis is. Alright? That's a real King Kong and Godzilla fight right there. You know what I'm saying? And that's a battle of the giants right there. And I would so welcome a fight like that. Let's see where they put the fight. I would want the fight obviously at a catch weight. I wouldn't want Naoya Inoue to blimp himself up to try to make 135 and have Gervonta comfortable at the weight where he's fighting at 135. I think Gervonta has to give a little too in this fight in order for it to make it happen, to make it at least fair and competitive. You drain down a little bit while he blimps up a little bit. And, I wouldn't just want the fight, him jumping from either 122 or 126 to jump all the way up to 135. At that point, I might not be so eager to see the fight because I would be thinking that they're setting the Japanese dude up and allowing Gervonta to be at his best. I wouldn't probably be in agreement with that. But if Gervonta gave a little and Naoya gave a little, then I would be more inclined with the fight. And even the outcome. If Naoya Inoue was to fall, I would accept it. Because he knew what he was getting into when he signed for that fight. And Gervonta would have gave some, so I would have no issues with it. But when you're doing things like Saul Canelo Alvarez to Mr. Terrence Crawford, that right there, I'm not in agreement with this fight. And I'm on record. You guys got receipts on me. I don't like it. I don't like the fight. Why do they have to put all the benefits on the Mexican, Saul Canelo Alvarez? The American champion is sacrificing everything. He's moving up the 3-weight divisions. There's no weight claw for Saul, so he gets to blimp up as much as he wants on fight night. All the advantage of Annie's fighting in his own weight division. Comfortable. He doesn't have to sacrifice nothing. Terrence Crawford is sacrificing everything. He's the one moving up to his weight. They're not even making Saul lose some weight to come down and make it a little bit fair. No. If they're like, oh, you want to fight me? Come up here. And Terrence is saying yes to everything. That is such an unfair advantage. But Terrence is trying to prove to the world he's him. And I'm going to tell you right now, Terrence pulls that off. Wow. Naoya Inoue is going to have to do some work. Because at that point, I would have to put him above Naoya Inoue. Just because of the magnitude of everything he would have done. It's just not Saul's name, brothers. Nah. You got to give him credit for everything Terrence did. You got to recognize the weight jump, the weight bullying going on here, the how he was the underdog, how much advantages Saul have. You would have to give all that to Terrence. Then you would also have to grant him his 5th weight division. Because he has 4. That would be 5. And the massive weight jump. You're not supposed to be able to do this. Now, in history, if there ever was a fighter to do that, I might not doubt that. But I don't think there was a fighter in history that moved up as a champion to fight an undisputed champion. Well, he's not undisputed. He's unified now, right? A unified world champion and a pound-for-pound fighter such as Saul Canelo Alvarez. See, you're not asking him just to fight any cab driver. You're asking him to fight Saul. The stakes are higher for Mr. Terrence Crawford. This is not a regular fighter. And neither is Terrence Crawford. He ain't no regular fighter. But it's a big task in hand. Saul Canelo Alvarez knows how to manage a fight, bro. We're going to see how that fight plays out. These are some of the things I talk about. I talk about the best fighters in the world here. Because the best fighters in the world need to get their flowers. And I'm a strong believer that as long as we show support to some of the best fighters in the world, it'll really boost up our sport in boxing. Right now, I'm trying to reach out to young Xander Zayas. Because I feel that Xander Zayas deserves that crack at Sebastian Fedora's WBO title. Xander Zayas is the #1 contender now. You know, some people still want to act like we want to hold Xander Zayas' hands. Nah, the training wheels are off. That's a grown-ass man right there. He's been putting in work. He's been telling the world, bro, I ripped off them training wheels, bro. Don't worry about me. I need work, I need this and that. Don't worry about me. You know, I love the support and I love that you guys are worried about me, Xander Zayas is saying. But give me my opportunity. Sebastian Fedora has been running around with this charade with Errol Spence Jr. And I didn't think that fight was ever going to take place. At one point I did, one point I didn't. Then I saw definitively he's just doing this bud shit again, Errol. And if Sebastian Fedora doesn't have an opponent right now, why doesn't he fight Xander Zayas, the #1 guy? Give the kid his shot. Look, I don't care. Win, lose, or draw. If Xander Zayas feels he's ready, he's the #1 contender. If you don't fight him, then you're ducking him. If you could call Naoya Inoue a duck, if you could call Gervonta Davis a duck, if you could call Devin Haney a duck, if you could call all these guys a duck for all these kind of situations, I'm calling Sebastian Fedora a duck because my man is actually the #1 contender. I'm not calling you a duck ranked number 15. I'm not calling you a duck ranked number 8. I'm calling you a duck. He's ranked #1. And he wants to smoke. It's not like he's saying, I'm not ready. No, he's saying he's inviting Sebastian Fedora. So if Sebastian Fedora, if you're that kind of champion, you see my video, shut him up. Get in the ring with young Xander Zayas and beat him then. But give him an opportunity. Give him an opportunity. That's how I feel. Give him. These men, you know, they've been working their entire lives. Amateur, coming up the ranking, just waiting for an opportunity at a shot at the belt. When you finally get there, you see that boxing has a lot to do with politics and in-house fighting and this promotion messing with that promotion and what have you, right? And it's sad sometimes because it delays some of these fighters' career. And we need to stop that. That's why some of the things that the Saudi prince is doing, I'm with it. Some, suspect. But at least he's calling out these fighters. And he's holding the fighters accountable. So at least that much I do like about him. So fight fans, I will be going on tonight. Join me here at Round 1 Sports Talk. I'll be on 7:30, 8 o'clock. Put that bell notification icon on to alert you when I'm going on. I'll see you guys there tonight, fight fans. All right? So don't forget to give this video a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And like always, I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round 1 Sports Talk. Peace.